know I don't do many politically orientated vlogs anymore, but this one kind of struck me today because I felt it was kind of interesting. Sweden, the whole memes thing, the whole EU, they're being terrified of memes, trying to ban memes. Now, from a magical point of view, memes are powerful magic. They are a whole new magical tradition that came about in recent years and has done incredible things. The election of Donald Trump being one of them, and many other things as well. Brexit probably too. They definitely, well, if anything, they destroyed Hillary Clinton's chances of making it to the White House. And the establishment are terrified of them. Now, today it's come out that in Sweden they've actually banned or not criticised the meme. You know, the distracted guy meme where you see the guy with his girl and he's looking at another girl walking by. She's heading towards the camera and his girlfriend is like this. Been used, very funny for a while now. Very clever meme, very entertaining. What does this tell us really about politics and government today? Well, in a nutshell, the reaction to that meme in Sweden tells us a lot about the European Union. Now, I know so many of you who are anti-fracking but pro-EU, pro-EU. So many of you are pro-renationalising the British Railways and pro-EU. The simple fact is, the reason why so many government services have been farmed out is because of EU directives on privatisation. This is why in England you can scream, and all you leftists can scream and shout about how Brexit is evil, but it's Brexit that it's the EU that's allowing your National Health Service to be dismantled and privatised. These are all as a direct result of EU directives on privatisation. And as a result, in the last, say, 30 years in particular, so many things that were under the administration of governments have been farmed out to private corporations through privatisation. The railways in England being one, and there's many others as well. Many of the services to do with utilities that were once owned by regional authorities or government or or government authorities, electrical services, sewerage, water, all this kind of thing, and sanitation that was run by councils. It's nearly all, and as well as telecoms and everything else, it's all, and distribution networks, it's all in the hand of privatisation. The idea of this was to make it more competitive. I would say this on the whole, in some cases, it actually has. The telephone system in Ireland used to be a joke here when it was run by the government, and that's been vastly improved by privatisation. Some things privatisation really does work. In England, the railways were very badly privatised, while in other countries, privatisation of the railways has worked out quite well. See, the British people seem to think that privatisation was only bad of all railways. In so many countries, it's actually worked out quite well. It broke up, bureaucracies and monopolies. Now, while this was ongoing, we had this government withdrawing from providing services. You would think that the civil service would have gotten smaller. No, civil services have actually grown enormously under the EU, massively, to the point where countries like Ireland the population of, I think, the Republic of Ireland is something like just under 5 million, with 300,000 civil servants, all extremely well paid, pampered, jobs for lives, massive pensions. Why are we hiring people when all the government administration work is being farmed out to everything from repairing the roads to the sewers to collecting rubbish is all farmed out to private companies? Why are we hiring more and more government employees? It's to create an Orwellian inter-party system where the government is not only an administrative body, but it is a bureaucratic and manpower, woman power, human power force, as a wedge between the ordinary people and the elites. So it's the classic inter-party scenario. You have a bought and paid for middle class and upper middle class civil service bureaucracy and government workers whose job is to protect the government at the top and the elites from the top from the masses below rebelling. So it's classic socialism and Trotskyism, and that's the purpose of them. That's the purpose of these this growth in the civil service. So you have a massive civil service that's grown all over Europe that has less and less to do in terms of administrative functioning. So what does it have to replace it with? Well, philosophy and dogma. When the imperative is not to actually, produce services and this kind of thing for the population, it has to be moved off into another world. And the other world is dogma, philosophy. So political philosophy and political dogma is now what drives all these governments. And this is why you have them, instead of doing things like, eradicating a disease or something, or sorting out political violence or sectarian violence in a city, they will go to war against something like the internet and memes, because that's where the battlefield is for them. They're involved, they're no longer civil servants, they're inter-party Orwellian members, and the Newspeak dictionary, it's all come to pass. We're here now. You know that famous scene in 1984 where I think Smythe, his name was, is talking about the Newspeak dictionary, and the eventual thing is to completely destroy the language, compress it to where there's actually no need for communication anymore. Well, that's what the civil service is doing today. So if you're a civil servant and watching this, you're more likely to be doing things like that than actually taking part in helping other people's lives. It's as simple as that. You're a philosophical enabler, a philosophical, unit who processes dogma in order to protect the elites. And it's just how the system was set up and worked out from the Council of Europe going way back. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse, especially now as the people are more and more aware of how absurd it is. They're not going to retract into a kind of a lie of being an administrative function again. They're going to go deeper and deeper into the dogmatic enforcement. And philosophy is now central to government and not administration. And we've got to start remembering that now, that when you're dealing with any kind of government in any way, it's, with the exception of probably Trump in the United States, which is actually an administrative government, it's doing things rather than pontificating. This is why they're terrified of Trump. This is why they're absolutely petrified of him, because he represents governments that actually have to work for a living.